Good afternoon, everyone. This is Eleanor with Eleanor's Elite Radio, and I am your host, of course, Eleanor. I would like to always, as usual, start off my show with a few thanks to a few of my near and dears to me here in Florida. Number one is Central Florida Cloud, Mr. Robert Green. He has been responsible for helping me also rebranding myself along with Geo Ropert and my website. So I would like to encourage everyone to go to his page on Facebook, Central Florida Cloud, like his page, give him a call for all your computer and cloud needs. His phone number is 321-252-9283, or you can email him at www.centralfloridacloud.com. Anyways, a great guy, and he's honest. He's a great family man. Just give him a call, and he'll take care of you. I would like to thank today a dear friend of mine. We've become rather close. Her name is Miss Iris Barrett. Welcome, Iris. How are you today?
I'm excellent, Eleanor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad. You know, I feel a little deja vu speaking to you.
Good.
Anyway, Miss Iris, you are a lovely, lovely woman. I want to read a little bit about you. Iris has a wonderful company. It's called Anonymous Expressions. And what she does is she brings laughter and fun to meetings, parties, fundraisers. She does ceremonies, corporate and private events. So tell us a little bit about what you do, Miss Iris.
Well, primarily in terms of events, I have a comedy show that's a ton of fun. So I talk to people about my story, about how I started honoring people anonymously, and how that really not only changed my life, but enriched the lives of others. And then I also talk about how I began seriously confronting challenging things like gossip that just make me insane, and they're so mindless. I started confronting things like that anonymously as well, and I watched a lot of people's behaviors change, and that sort of evolved into my Classy and Sassy Awards, which are what I do with my comedy show. And it's really fun because I intuitively pick people up out of the audience to honor with my honoring awards. Things like glorious gratitude, lovable laughter, childlike wonder. I have all kinds of really fun honoring awards, and people love those. They warm hearts, they bring positive recognition. And then I also poke fun at human behavior with my Sassy Awards, and that's where the really super fun comedy also comes in. And so I poke fun with my wonderful poetic awards about mindless moochers and drama queens and masters of con artistry and coercive coworkers, and it's just a ton of fun, Eleanor.
You know, I think, I don't know, the last time we spoke, I don't remember you mentioning drama queens, because I know quite a few of those, and I have a feeling a lot of people would vote me a drama queen too. I don't know. I love drama and I love to be a queen. I think I was born to be a queen. Maybe not so much the drama aspect, but tell us a little bit more about your popular awards of honor and what needs they serve.
Well, they're really fabulous. For example, sort of where I first got started with the awards is I had a friend who was an elementary school teacher talking about the challenges a lot of her poor little elementary school students were having at home. And so I created a Gifted and Talented Child Award. And, of course, I had their perfect names, their addresses. And I sent out, I think, about 24. And she called me in tears like 4 days later saying, oh, my gosh, it gave these children something different to focus on. It built their self-esteem. And the whole mystery of absolutely having no idea who sent it. Grandma didn't send it. The school didn't send it. The church didn't send it. It was so powerful for these children. And it really, and I got to see that through the teacher's eyes. And so it really made an impression on me. I have an award that I love for people who are dying. It's very difficult to know what to say, especially across the miles. And so I have one that I really love that really honors people on their way out the door. Doesn't talk about their disease, it honors who they are. And that's really powerful. And then the other one I have, Eleanor, and I have a lot of them, but The other one that makes people cry the most when they call me is I have an honorary Caregiver of Light award. And as you and I both know, caregivers, they're often so underappreciated, and it is such a difficult, perpetual task. And so they do. I mean, they call me crying. They're so touched when someone, either anonymously or not, chooses to honor them for their dedication, their loyalty, their service, and it really brings people a lot of joy and a lot of positive recognition that a lot of people need.
And it's all about really being validated. I know a lot of women who work, very hard. I mean, I'm an educator as well, and I know how hard it is to work 30, 40 hours a week, maintain your family, be the chauffeur and a caretaker to both of my parents. And all sometimes you need is a little, wow, thank you so much for doing what you do. And I believe this is what you do, dear. Yes?
Absolutely, and it is so incredibly important. I also discovered that Rosalind Carter, First Lady Rosalind Carter, actually started the International Caregivers Foundation when she was First Lady in order for caregivers to have more resources for taking care of themselves through the process. And I sent her a nice honorary caregiver award and got a nice response, and that was lovely.
Oh, how wonderful.
So, yeah, I just think there are so many different ways that we can honor people and so many things that you can honor them for. And, of course, the amazing thing was, as I've created all these great awards, Wisdom Keeper and Lovable Laughter and Glorious Gratitude, when I've created all these, I've found myself looking for and watching for people who reflect these awards. And, when you really look for the good in others, it's amazing how you find it.
That's very true. And I think you're absolutely correct. I know I was being a little sassy myself before, but it's true. You have to find the good in people, and it will just bring the good out in them. Now, enough with the goody-goody two-shoes stuff. Let's move on. Share with us about your Sassy Humorous Awards. You consider it a wake-up call for people who need them.
Well, they're a ton of fun, and the one that I get the most phone calls on, where I answer the phone and somebody's laughing on the other end of the phone, I have a Beneficial Bullshitter Award that a lot of guys love. I have a Cantankerous Old Coot. Of course, there's the famous drama queen, Judgmental Jackass. That's a good one. Mindless Moocher, incredibly popular. Dastardly Dirty Old Man. And, they're so great because sometimes when you present things in a humorous way, people can get the message. It's all about people hearing the message in a way that they can hear it, okay? Receiving the message in a way they can hear it. And these are funny, they're kind of tongue-in-cheek, but they're also pretty darn clear in terms of looking at a behavior. And the whole anonymous thing, it reminds me of what the mediators talk about. It's like being hard on principles and soft on people.
Right.
So when you send something like this anonymously, not only is it kind of fun or funny or a pretty serious message, but it's not about me sending it, it's about the message. And so it's kind of a kind and loving way to confront people with something that they need to look at.
Right. I know you feel very strongly about offering clean comedy that's suitable for most of all ages and audiences. What kind of events enjoy your comedy shows the most?
I do a lot of customer and employee appreciation events. People love those, and I love doing them too. And a lot of companies are realizing that, having a fun comedy event like mine once a year where they can invite their clients and their customers, we all know that success is about relationships, and people love it. It's fun. It's a special thing that they're invited to, and of course, oftentimes they invite their employees as well, because that's the nice thing about a comedy show. I could do pretty much as big of a group as, they want to invite. So a lot of volunteer appreciation events, fundraisers, and of course, client and employee appreciation events. I'm all about appreciation events in terms of that's where people love my stuff. And again, it's funny, but it's also lighthearted and heartwarming. And That's a nice reflection of me, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I want to remind everyone that we are talking today with Iris Barrett, and she is the creator of Anonymous Expressions. Her phone number to reach her directly is area code 303-719-6700, and her email is mentor@anonymousexpressions.com, or you can visit her on her website at anonymousexpressions.com. Simple enough. If you want, I was very fortunate to receive a beautiful Wisdom Keeper Award, and Miss Barrett sent that to me, and it does come in a beautiful, gifted cardstock. It arrives like you could just basically put it in a frame and put it on your wall, because she sends it beautifully on cardstock. It's printed out gorgeous, and it really was very lovely. And I do appreciate you sent that to me. I know I called and thanked you for it, but it really is a very beautiful gift to receive. And, I think in this day and age of digital insanity, that it's nice when you go to the mailbox. Oh my God, look at this. I got a snail mail. And not only that, it's a beautiful piece of, calligraphy on paper, on cardstock. It was really very beautiful. And I have it hanging up in my office, so I thank you for that. But if anybody is interested...
Thank you.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested to send something like that to a friend, or as a joke to a coworker, a little tongue-in-cheek, nothing vicious, although I sometimes would prefer a real vicious one. I'm hoping one day to get Iris really intoxicated and have her write me a really vicious, mean, angry one so I can send it to a couple of people.
What's interesting about that is, I'm not sure if we discussed it or not, Eleanor, but the other thing I offer in my business, so I offer the Honoring Awards, the Sassy Awards, and the other thing I offer is called Honesty Letters, and that's where I really, pull out the punches and really address more serious issues with people. Oh. And again, it's all anonymously. And I think I might have mentioned in one of our lovely conversations that the most popular one I send is, I wrote a powerful poem about verbal abuse. Mm-hmm. And, you and I both know how prevalent verbal abuse is, and I believe that it's the primary thing that destroys innocence throughout the entire world, throughout every culture, every age. I have issues. I feel strongly about confronting verbal abusers, and many people have reported that. Through my business, they send this poem called Shame on You about verbal abuse, and people actually do change their behavior because they don't know who sent it. And there's something about that mystery where everybody you see, you have to wonder, are they the person that's calling me on this?
Right. Right, exactly. Who sent this to me? It is. I imagine it's very disconcerting thinking, oh my God, was it my neighbor? Did my neighbor hear me yelling like that? Or... absolutely, I agree. And I think that's the magic of what your verbal abuse award does. Really.
It's really true. It's really true. And it's just as powerful if I'm honoring you for your lovable laughter, or whether, you're getting called a mindless moocher, because you deserve the Mindless Moocher Award, or if you're getting one of these honesty letters, which is confronting, bullying or verbal abuse or gossip. Gossip's the other big one. And that's actually the first honesty letter I ever sent. I found this fabulous poem about gossip. And, I was a new young mother, and I was feeling very responsible. And I looked at all my friends, my lifelong friends, and their gossip was ridiculous and so mindless and so destructive. And I sent every single one of them a powerful poem about gossip. And nobody ever mentioned it, but I'll tell you what, they changed their behavior.
I like to try doing that with some of the bitches I hang with. I don't know if that would work, though, because people get really wrapped up in it. I mean, I believe we live in a society, especially with all the social media that's available, that, people are very quick to maybe not so much verbally abuse, but put down and judge and just be very harsh. I don't know. I think that's the only word I could really describe it would be it's a harsh society we live in. You're judged on how you look. You're judged on how you speak, how much you weigh, what kind of car you drive, what kind of house you live in. And I just think people feel that it's imperative that they are as equally as bitchy as the next person. I don't know. That's how I feel.